The story of Violetta, a beautiful, free-spirited courtesan who falls for Alfredo, a proper young gentleman, and then pays dearly for her passions, is the kind of operatic material that can capture a child's imagination.
When I was a young girl, the first time I went, I was shocked, I love it so much, so passionate Alfredo was, Yeah, I love it.
Marta Domingo directs La Traviata for San Diego Opera. She's taken Verdi's 19th century French opera and transplanted it to America in the Roaring '20s. She says it works perfectly because of the flappers.
Which are absolutely fabulous women, liberated totally. They have mind of their own because of the consequences of the First World War. They have faced death and sadness, so they wanted to enjoy life. Every day it might be the last one. And that was ideal, very, very much the time of the 1850 in France.
Soprano Corinne Winters sings the role of Violetta.
I love the 20s. I absolutely love that era for fashion, for the sentiment, because it was after the First World War, and everyone just wanted to enjoy life and the sensual pleasures of life, which is what this piece is about. But it's also about nonconformity, about two people from different backgrounds and different lives finding each other and loving each other and breaking societal boundaries, and I think that's why this period works so well.
Tenor Jesus Garcia plays the object of Violetta's passions, Alfredo.
Well, it's just sort of one of those archetypal love stories. No matter what time period something's set in, people fall in love. Extenuating circumstances, force them to separate. They finally get to be together in the end just in time for one of them to die. It's just one of those stories that, it gets people's heartstrings.
That's not entirely a spoiler. La Traviata is based on Alexander Dumas' classic novel that was made into the popular movie Camille, in which Greta Garbo died so famously. For the opera, Camille is transformed into Violetta.
Violetta is a courtesan. That's important as far as the time period because she was not just a prostitute. She was a woman of high society who was well-spoken, well-educated, and very desired, not just for her looks, but for her mind and for her personality. But she meets a younger man, and he's more innocent and more naive, but really genuine and earnest. And at first she pushes him away, but she falls for him. And she finally lets her guard down and says, maybe I will give in to love.
Perhaps that's why the opera found a place in the movie Pretty Woman, where Violetta's story moves Julia Roberts' prostitute to tears. The opera provides the soundtrack to the movie at that point, and Garcia says that's a good way to think about the music in an opera, as providing the emotional score to a story.
I had a director once say that the music is a secret that only the audience hears, that the people on stage don't know they're singing. You're just living a life, and it's coming out as music.
For her production, Domingo came up with the idea of having a jazz band on stage during a party scene.
And you see how well it fits. It's only you hear the rhythm, and then you will see the dancers. I'm not having any Spanish dancers here,
Instead, the dancers will be inspired by Art Deco ivory and bronze statues.
The skin is ivory and the dresses are made in bronze. So that's what I did for the dancers in the third act.
A key moment in that act is when Alfredo disgraces Violetta in front of high society.
So it's kind of a rip-roaring mad scene for Alfredo, and as an actor, it's always exciting to play those kind of moments.
For Winters, it's the vocal challenges of playing Violetta that's exciting.
High notes, low notes, virtuosity, legato, so very smooth, controlled singing. Just a color palette to show everyone all the emotions that she must portray. So vocally, it's one of the most challenging roles in the repertoire. The most important thing about opera is the power of the unamplified human voice. To hear a voice just resonating so powerfully in a large hall, I think it, as my dad says, it changes the molecules in your body.
Get ready for your molecular transformation as San Diego Opera closes out its current season with Verdi's La Traviata. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.